to invite Mr. A. Jayakumar, advisor to Professor Shambhunath Singh, Professor at SOG. I'd like to invite our Director, Dr. Devamitra Mitro, and Dr. Nivish Kapoor to please come on scene. I'll now request Dr. Manoj Patadia to please felicitate our guests with SRFTI mementos.
Multiple themes, but a new dimension has opened up where SRFT has also organized for the first time a film festival on another milestone in taking forward the art of movie making on the theme of science and technology.
The use of heavy machinery and leaving soils without any plant growth for weeks at a time have created soils with little or no mycorrhizal fungi population.
I request Mr. AKB to please announce the second winner in this category, carrying a cash prize of 50. Prize in the student category.
I was on the phone because I couldn't sleep, and then I couldn't sleep because I was on my phone.
This is red and this is blue.
So Mr. Prince has come with his empire. Receiving the award from the Honorable Minister. This prize carries a cash prize of 25,000 rupees with a trophy and a certificate. Shivam Pandey receiving the award.
Produced by Beacon Television.
Snakebite. A trail of death, disability, sorrow. A tragedy waiting to strike.
So Seemaji
क्या हुआ भाई? कुमार, ये तो उठो ना भाई, ऐसे बात करो, परवाह कर रहा है।
Scientists today are using the latest technology and braving some of the harshest conditions on this planet to investigate these effects of changing climate.
So Rakesh Rao receiving the award for the best film in the independent film category, filmmakers category competition. So Mr. Satish Pandey receiving this award from, I request
We embarked upon an adventurous journey to the northeast of India. What we witnessed was amazing. A blend of science and wisdom.
This brings us to the end of our award ceremony.
We updated and we hope to achieve greater heights in the future.
This brings us to the end of the award ceremony with Mr. R. Balki after that. Thank you very much.
कार्यक्रम के गेस्ट ऑफ ऑनर बालाकृष्णन जी, मंच पर उपस्थित जय कुमार जी, अपूर्व जी, डॉक्टर डेंजल, डॉक्टर मित्रा जी जो यहाँ की डायरेक्टर हैं और जो इतने वर्षों से हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, शंभू जी, सभी कार्यक्रम के आयोजक मंडल के हमारे साथी और दुनिया के दूसरे बहुत सारे I could meet a number of representatives from other countries like Israel, Switzerland, Nepal, England I think, and then also Netherlands and Taiwan. I think I was really pleased to meet all of them. I wish I had more time to interact with them. And I've been told that 35 international films participated this time, and there were national and international independent filmmakers, 32, and 24 student films have seen their participation in this film festival. But what gives me the greatest pleasure, in fact, is the fact that in the last 5 years, this particular event is happening for the first time in a television and film institute, and that too, which is dedicated to the memory of one of the greatest legends of India, Shri Satyajit Ray ji. I think each one of us in this country has huge amount of admiration for the great man, the great legend, and for the great work that he has done, not only for the film world but for the society in general, and I think for the nation in particular. So I think that is one reason for why, because of which, in spite of very, very hectic things, but I never wanted to miss this event, because for me, more than the science festival, it was just having a feel of what it is, the Satyajit Ray Television and Film Institute. I came here more because of that, and because every time I come for this festival, this is also very important for me. But so I'm really grateful, and as rightly said by Shambhuji, that the whole event is growing in terms of its stature, in terms of the participation from people, in terms of its quality, in terms of everything. And I must thank Mr. Apurva and all his jury members, who must have done an extraordinarily exemplary work in really finding out and searching the best options. Sometimes it is very difficult to decide who is a good filmmaker, because we see 5 films, we love each of the film, but if you ask me that which one is the best, it's very difficult to judge, and from that perspective I can appreciate that for a jury member also to really decide. So I would say that most of those who participate here, and for me this was also news, and this is heartening also in a way, when Dr. Mitra said that it is for the first time that a science festival or something like a science film and any activity related to a science film is actually happening in this Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute. So that itself, I think, is a bit of a surprise also. It is a bit of another wake-up call for the scientific community also, that it took us almost 70 years to come to this place, to be talking about the science films, and to be talking about using the media of films to propagate science. But now that we have decided that, when we decided about India International Science Festival, we were determined, and with a lot of commitment, we had decided that ultimately we would love to make science a movement in this country. And that commitment came from the fact that I have all my life worked for health, and there also I felt that health has to be a social movement if you want to deliver health for all. And after having seen science also from closest of quarters, I realized and appreciated that science is something which needs to be talked about, needs to be discussed, needs to be taken over to every person in this country, because science is benefiting everybody. But directly or indirectly, everything that we are enjoying the fruits of is science, but probably we tend to forget that this is science which is actually helping us. So we need to develop scientific temperament and scientific passion amongst the masses of this country, and we need to actually also enthuse and also motivate our scientists to become confident that science can help solve each and every unresolved issue of the country. And that is where the scientific community needs to be, and their contribution needs to be acknowledged in totality. They should have a feel-good factor in their own lives also. They should all be together and under one roof. They should all feel that the various facets of science are the real ones which are actually helping the society and the common man. And there can't be two opinions about the fact that ultimately it is the media of films, which has the strongest power. I think anything, if you want to communicate, whether directly, indirectly, or in a subtle manner, I think it's the message that you can deliver or dispatch through the films, whether a short film or a big film or a 3-hour film, or whether it's a love story or a Mission Mangal Abhiyan, everything I think it's the strongest and the most powerful media. So there was no reason that we could not, we should not have got into this, and I'm happy that our young friend has been working so hard for the last 5 years, and he has brought it to a level where he has put everybody on board, and with every passing year it's growing leaps and bounds, and we feel proud of what the scientists who normally work inside their laboratories under the microscope, and then all the time they are busy looking at whether it's a bacteria or an atom or a molecule or a genome sequencing. Now they get out of that laboratory and then they create events like this, and see that it is all transmitted in a big and very powerful manner to the countrymen. So me to speak too much, because we are going to have another function. I have to be there at 2 o'clock, and then a valedictory function in which Honorable Governor is going to be there around 3 o'clock or so. So all my good wishes and congratulations to all those who are going to win and these awards, but to the others also who may not be able to get a formal award. I am sure that they have done an exemplary job, and they will get another award sometimes else. But whether for an award or not an award, it is, I think the award is ultimately given by you yourself. If you have put your heart and soul into something, and you are dedicatedly involved for something, and you produce something for which you are sure that you worked very sincerely and with a lot of commitment for that, I think that's the greatest award that you get. That way I'm sure that those who made it to the India International Science Festival, they are not routine people, because those who work for the offbeat activities, they are the committed people. I was so happy that our great filmmaker from Switzerland, she was talking to me about elephants, and she was so concerned about the protection and the safety that we have to ensure for our elephants. I think that speaks volumes about, because that is filmmaking is not only about taking films or making pictures. It's also about the concern for mankind. It's the concern for animal kingdom. It's the concern for animal welfare also. So those who go around in forests making films, they are not the ones who are only concerned about making a film. They are also concerned about animal welfare. That, I think, that's a great point that I want to highlight, and that is what ultimately should be the goal of each one of us. Our concern for human issues, human welfare, human values, and of course anything which is friendly for the environment, and that if we can transmit that feeling to the people of India or the people of this globe in the best possible scientific manner using films, that is, I think, ultimate success. So friends, thank you so much for all this organization, and I am really grateful to everyone in the organizing committee who has worked day in and day out to make this 5th edition of the India International Science Festival a huge success. We'll all feel happy. You see, this 5th edition was very, you can say, important for us, because for the first time in 5 years, although we got the President of India in our festival, we got the Vice President, we got Home Minister, we got all the ministers here. But for the first time after 5 years, we got the blessings of the Prime Minister of India in the inaugural function of this India International Science Festival. And I have to break one more good news for all of you, that today in quick succession in the last 4 days. We got the third prize in the Guinness Book of World Records. We got our entry. First year we got one prize for our entry into the Guinness Book of World Records. The next couple of years we are getting 2 each year. And this year, today itself, just now we got the third entry where the students have demonstrated chromosomes. Yesterday they had largest number of students had made this radio transmitter. That was the largest gathering of students all over the world. And today's record is not breaking another record made by somebody. It is like making a record for the first time in the world. That's what our students did. So that's also good news. But what we are trying to do is not only routine work. We are trying to do quality work, and also we have now the international acclaim also for all that. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
हमारे इंडिया इंटरनेशनल साइंस फेस्टिवल का जो हमारा फिल्म फेस्टिवल होता है वो अपनी सफलता की चरम सीमाओं की तरफ बढ़ रहा है। इस बार दुनिया के बहुत सारे देशों के फिल्म मेकर्स ने भी इसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया। स्विट्ज़रलैंड से, इंग्लैंड से, ताइवान से, नीदरलैंड से, नेपाल से, ऑस्ट्रिया से, कई जगह से जो है फिल्म मेकर्स आए और लगातार दिन प्रतिदिन साल दर साल जो फिल्म्स यहाँ पर पार्टिसिपेट कर रही हैं उनकी क्वालिटी इम्प्रूव हो रही है। और साइंस फिल्म मेकिंग ये भी एक आंदोलन की तरह विकसित होता जा रहा है। और सबसे बड़ी खुशी की बात यह है कि इस बार ये हमारा कलकत्ता में इंडिया इंटरनेशनल साइंस फेस्टिवल का जो फिल्म साइंस फेस्टिवल फिल्म पार्ट है वो सत्यजीत रे जो टेलीविज़न और फिल्म इंस्टीट्यूट है उसके प्रांगण में आयोजित हुआ है। ये हमारे लिए खुशी की बात है। और इस बार अपूर्व असाधारण सफलता मिली है इंडिया इंटरनेशनल साइंस फेस्टिवल को। पिछले 4 बार के मुकाबले बहुत बड़ी संख्या में लोगों ने इसमें भाग लिया है और तीन गिनीज बुक ऑफ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स में हमको प्राइज़ मिले हैं हमारे स्टूडेंट्स के पार्टिसिपेशन के कारण। मैं देश भर की साइंटिफिक कम्युनिटी को इंडिया इंटरनेशनल साइंस फेस्टिवल के सफल आयोजन के लिए भी बधाई देता हूँ और विशेषकर जो फिल्म्स का पार्टिसिपेशन यहाँ पर हुआ है उसके लिए और भी ज़्यादा फिल्म मेकर्स को बधाई देता हूँ।